Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Jay and welcome to the channel, and welcome back to Sorna Emergent Biopark in Jurassic World Evolution, a project where we're aiming to build a biologically accurate dinosaur park and preserve with the use of mods. In today's episode we are actually not including any dinosaurs, but instead we are focusing on some Cenozoic creatures, animals which lived way after the dinosaurs and a lot closer to us in terms of timelines. And as you see on screen, we're actually first up starting with a brand new mod that dropped on the Nexus yesterday maybe, and that is the Raptor Paddock by Raider1985, who has made some tremendously amazing mods like the Mosasaur Arena, the T-Rex Kingdom, stuff like that. And I thought this would be great to use, not for raptors, but instead for some saber-toothed cats, some Smilodon. So there is a great Smilodon mod on the Nexus. Let me just check who that was by. So it's uploaded by Yoseba, who made it into a new species, but I think it was originally made by a couple of users called, I cannot for the life of me pronounce this, Ulquera and LGCFM. But yeah, they did great work on the Smilodon mod. I was really wary of adding Cenozoic creatures, and you hear me talk about this a bit more in the live session, but I was nervous about the animations and stuff working out and the quality. The quality of the mod is absolutely like top notch. They did great jobs with the model and the textures. It's more how they lined up with the existing mechanics of the game. But, you know, those worries were absolutely unfounded. It ends up looking really nice, and all the animals work pretty alright, I think. They all work about as well as I'd like them to, so I'm pretty happy with that. Beyond just the Smilodon, we're also going to be adding in a couple of woolly rhinoceros, which are pretty cool. Those are, I believe, by Siaka, and made into a new species by Maxley. Those were fantastic as well. Siaka has made a lot of really fantastic Cenozoic mods. Another one of theirs is the Colombian mammoth, which we'll also be including today. A small herd of them, alongside the woolly rhinoceros in a habitat. And finally, we are going to be using Luca, Hendrix, and LG CFM's Megatherium, which is the giant ground sloth, which was made into a new species by Yoseba, I believe. And it's fantastic, it looks amazing, it's a really, really great mod, probably my favorite out of the Cenozoic creatures. And it gets its own habitat in a little marshy area towards kind of the upper right of this area. And I even gave this area like little gates that you'll see later, because I wanted this to feel like its own park almost. Hence the title, you know, welcome to Cenozoic Park as opposed to Jurassic Park. Lots of rock work here. I tried to give the habitats quite scrubby and quite like light in terms of like tropical foliage, so I end up using just eucalyptus trees. And by God, okay, I've had a couple more crashes. This, I gotta say, with the amount of modding I've done to this game, I think it's kind of on its last legs. I think I can finish this park before that, and I will. Like, no matter what, I'll figure out a way to finish this park, despite the crashes. Like, I had 2 here. Didn't lose much work, so it was okay, but I had to get rid of even more mods. But I think this probably means I'm about at the end of adding in any new like building mods. I think I can still add in new species because I got rid of a whole bunch, but I think as far as building mods go, I think I'm not going to install any more. This Raptor Paddock by Raider1985, probably the last one. And of course we are still going to be including a few really cool species and stuff like that are new, but I just can't justify adding in any more buildings or foliage or anything like that because it will just crash the game. In fact, in foliage I've had to get rid of a bunch of trees which were in some of the other habitats, like some of the kapok trees, because the game just couldn't handle them. But that's okay, we pushed through, we'll get there. Like, we're almost at the finish line, guys. Like, I think 3-4 more episodes and we're done. I'll try and do some of those as live plays as well, and there's a live section in this video where I'll just go through things. Here's me adding in the gates to this area, just again making it very much like its own little area, and there'll be a monorail that drops you off here as well. So I think that all ends up working out quite well. I'm really pleased with this. I really was so hesitant to add in non-Mesozoic creatures, but then I did add in Dimetrodon last time and that worked out pretty well, and these animals are all great. I had a look at some of the Paleozoic mods, so animals from before the dinosaurs. But I think I can't really justify using the space for them just because there aren't enough of them. There's like, I believe 4 or 5, but they're all a bit smaller. There's things like Estemnosuchus, which is a brilliant mod for a really weird creature. There's of course Dimetrodon. There might be a Dilophosaurus, Diploquolus. They're all quite small. So a whole area dedicated to them might be a bit weird, but I mean, we'll see. If I find like a nice place that works for them, maybe I will. But right now, I think I'm going to focus on slightly larger habitats, which will fill out the park a bit more. Some like really big, open, like sauropod habitats with loads of like hadrosaurs and stuff running through it. Kind of like what we did for the Dreadnoughtus. I mean, Argentinosaurus. Something like that. So we'll see how it goes. Here's me creating the woolly mammoth, sorry, the Colombian mammoth and the Megatherium habitats. The Megatherium's going to live on this side, which is a lot marshier and wetter, as you can see. And the woolly rhinoceros and the Colombian mammoth are going to live on the other side. And I kind of forgot to put in a fence between these two areas. So at one point, a mammoth does just cross over into the giant ground sloth area. So don't worry, fix that, all sorted. But it ends up looking quite nice. I like the rocky divide in between the two habitats, makes it look very natural. Just kind of messing up the terrain a little bit, adding in some water, some low-lying foliage, and then a couple more rocks, and then I'll add in more of those eucalyptus trees, which I think look fantastic. And just a couple of guest areas here, just adding in some buildings, of course. It's nice to have like more guest areas just interspersed here, because I tend to forget that the guests exist and I need to make sure they have amenities, so I think it ends up looking quite nice. Just covering some of the empty gaps with some, like, just with the foliage brush. Some variation in fencing, and that's pretty much it for this episode. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'll join you in just a second in the live play section of today's video. So I will see you then. Bye. Okay guys, here we are in the game. And as you can see, this is our Cenozoic park, or well, the Cenozoic section of our park, so to speak. And I quite like how it's turned out. It's a nice little, like, kind of in a nook in the park. It's not like a massive area or anything, but it's kind of got its own little section that you can enter via these lovely gates over here. And I think that works out quite well. Loving this Smilodon paddock. I think the this Raptor paddock by Raider 1985, just fantastic work on their part. They've made some incredible mods already. This is no exception. Really fantastic stuff, and of course suits the Smilodon pretty well. Of course it's meant for raptors, but I think the Smilodon fitted really well. I love seeing them coming through the door to feed and then like looking at it from above like this. That is a really cool sight if you ask me. The Smilodon themselves are really fantastic. I think the mod author did a really great job. Of course, link as always in the description. Same goes for the other Cenozoic creatures. All of the models are really fantastic. I was worried the animations would be a little bit janky, but really it's not that bad. Like, I think it works out pretty okay. Obviously there's a bit of like ghosting here. I think that's the term, probably not, but that happens a lot with the base game animals anyways, so I'm not too fussed, and they all end up looking really good and add a lot of variety to the park, and I'm really glad that we decided to go for that, because I think it ends up really benefiting the park. Just up here we see a few more of them. I really like how they are looking up here as well. Oh, that's a beautiful animation there with them lying down like this. It's a little bit janky, but it's not awful by any means. There's 5 of them in here in this whole habitat, and I really like the kind of scrubland biome that I created for them with the eucalyptus trees. Fantastic, I think. It looks really well like suited for them. Here is a little guest area with some restaurants, a hotel, gift shop. And here are some of our larger kind of Cenozoic creatures. We have a Colombian mammoth herd of 4 of them. They look really cool. The eyes look a little bit sinister if you ask me. Like the green, it's really bright. I'm not sure what the reasoning behind that was, but otherwise I really think it looks fantastic. Really nice like leathery skin with these like really kind of light coating of hair. Really nice work, I think. This looks really great. And of course the woolly rhinos are also fantastic. It's really hard to do like, fibers in the game. So doing the fur on these guys, I think they did a great job with what they had to work with. I don't know if you would necessarily want to put these two in the same habitat together. They're a little bit, sharp. You don't want them like attacking each other, but I think they look really good together in this habitat. Again, very much a scrubland kind of vibe. Is there a woolly mammoth on the Nexus? I'm not sure, but I prefer the Colombian anyways. It's a more interesting mammoth, I think. And those, you can't beat those tusks. Those are massive. I remember seeing the Colombian mammoth for the first time on Primeval, which is, for those of you who don't know, an old well, not old, it's from the mid 2000s, late 2000s British TV show, and it was about dinosaurs, other prehistoric creatures, and it was really, really cool. It's quite sci-fi, but like in a really quite nice way, so I really liked it. Here's our Megatherium, a giant ground sloth, looking amazing. Again, just fantastic, this mod. Like, I really was worried about the animations and stuff lining up, but they look fantastic. They move alright. Like, the fur on this looks really stunning, so really glad with that. I love how knuckle walks like a Megatherium would have. You know, really great. There's a Megatherium fossil in a fossil cast, I believe, in the London Natural History Museum, and I love seeing it. It just posed so well. And it's just a really cool animal. I give it a bit more of a marshy biome with all these grasses, just to give it a bit more interest and to make it look, you know, more kind of defined compared to the other two. Here we have more of the Smilodon just wandering about, doing their thing. And yeah, that is it for this area. I really enjoyed building it. We have a decent bit of the park left. I think this whole area over here, this lake area, is going to become one big habitat for some sauropods, some hadrosaurs. Basically, it's going to be a really large kind of Cretaceous China habitat, or Jurassic China, where you have Omesaurs, you have a bunch of different hadrosaurs. Like, I believe you have things like Centaurosaurus and stuff. I'll look at, I'll double check which ones fit in the formation and stuff. That'll be really nice over there. And then here we have space for maybe 2 more sections with a few habitats each. And then we should be done with the park. And and then we'll move on to Jurassic World Evolution 2. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Do like the video if you did like it. Do let me know in the comments down below what would you like to see in the last few episodes of this park. Let me know what you're most excited for in Jurassic World Evolution 2. And yeah, as always, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!